Hello, and welcome to Oh No, Disney Adults, the only podcast about Walt Disney World. I am Drew, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Harry. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, not bad. How you doing? You ready to talk Disney news?
I am so ready to talk Disney. Not only am I ready to talk Disney, but this is the last one that we're going to be doing now before we both go on our respective trips, which is like mega excitement. We've just had D23 this weekend just gone, so we've got like all of these announcements about really exciting stuff, and then I've got a little announcement on my own that I'm going to make a bit later on as well that you don't know about. Haha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Interesting.
So you are? Did you say you're 10 days away from Florida now?
Yeah, yeah. So we're 10 days away, including today. So obviously tomorrow will be 9. Obviously, don't know how to explain that, but anyway.
No, thanks for that, dude.
Yeah,
Basic numeracy eludes me quite often, so it's always good to have it spelled
well,
out.
hey, listen, you never know. You never know. Some people, numbers just don't do it for them, right?
Yeah,
It's real.
yeah.
Um, But yeah, we're 10 days away. I'm so excited, and the best thing, honestly, is obviously everyone knows me and Ellie are taking some of our lovely friends
Yeah.
to Disney World, as are yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot wait. And the best thing that I've experienced is one of my friends. He's not really Jake. He's not really big on like downloading apps for things and like investigating stuff, but
Yeah.
we've encouraged him to download the app, and it's great because he's been checking and monitoring. He's like, "Oh my god," he's like, "Harry," and this was yesterday because I went to work in the same office as him. We don't do the same job, but we work for the same company, so we can work in the
Sure.
same office. But anyway, went to work with him, and he was like, "It's only 11 days, you know." This is obviously yesterday, and I was like, "I know, it's
I'm well
crazy."
aware.
And I was like, "How do you know?" And he was like, "I've checked the app," and I was like, "Oh my god, you downloaded the app?" And he was like,
Hey.
"Yeah, I'm really excited." He was like, "I've been looking up things to do." He's like, "I really want to do this, this, and this." And I was like, "Well, we've planned a lot,
Yeah.
but for whatever you want to do, anything we've planned, we can just go. You know what? Don't fancy that.
Yeah.
We're going to go and do this." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Honestly, mate, I don't mind. I'm excited that you're excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got 2 weeks. We've got plenty of time."
Yeah.
Um, I'm just so excited. I'm ready. I feel like I've adapted to the heat. The UK has braced me, um, you know, for Florida. The
Yeah.
only thing where I don't think they're going to be ready for the rain,
Mm.
but I am. I've got my Crocs. I'm going to have a poncho. I've got a poncho
Yep.
already. I'm going to be indestructible. I've bought from Vinted a ton of swimming trunks that don't look like swimming trunks, so I can wear them
Okay.
in the park. So then that way I don't
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
worry about getting wet. And also, they're
Excellent.
quite thin,
Mm.
that material.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one, they'll dry fast, and two, they won't be horrible when you're all wet and horrible.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm going to be amphibious when I'm out there. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
You're gonna be like
What
you've
what
seen.
about you? What's
Oh, mate, I'm so ready. So we are 22 days away. Yeah. So tomorrow it's going to be
nice?
3 weeks. Um, the girls have already got like their suitcases down, like all the Disney specific stuff's already in there. Um, like I'm
Okay.
like you though. I think we're generally quite prepped like ahead of time. Just the anticipation. We've got a little countdown thing in the living room, so I get up every morning, one of those little perpetual calendar things. Physically change it to the next day so that we know how much closer we are to getting to go. And yeah, man, absolutely cannot wait. But I think it's so funny because that app does end up being quite addictive. Like I don't know about you, but I'm definitely one of those sad people who like after the holiday you'll find me just randomly going like Pirates is only 10 minutes at the moment, you know. Just sitting in my kitchen with my coffee, like just imagining a world where I'm able to walk over and experience that. But yeah, no, that's really
Well,
cool that
yeah.
he's getting to grips with it ahead of time because you know, whether you want to or not, you kind of have to rely on that app these days to be able to
Mm.
function in the park. So it's good that he's kind of going all in on that and getting used to it and using it and everything else. But I also think it can help, you know, build the hype a little bit because you do have that little countdown on your reservation page, and you know, there's it's constantly flashing up with suggestions for things to do. It's got that plan my day thing, so it will kind of tell you all the bits and bobs. And like you say, you know, we've talked about this on the podcast before, that the idea of like plan to the nth degree, and then be prepared to chuck about 80% of that out the window while you're there, because something more spontaneous is going to happen, and just kind of letting that magic happen. So I
Hmm.
think it sounds like you're all going in with the right attitude for doing that, which is very nice. So
Yeah.
what are you most excited for? What's like the big standout? And I don't mean like, I know you're excited to take your friends to see stuff for the first time, but I'm on about you, Harry. What's Harry excited for?
Me. Well, Harry is. I mean, I'm always so excited just for everything. But I feel like I'm not going to cop out and say everything and being in Florida. What I am excited to do is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, because we've
Yes.
all bought costumes.
Oh,
And
are we
yeah,
allowed to
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, you know, I could say we're going as pirates because we
Okay.
all love Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
So we were like, it's going to be so. We thought we were trying to think of like clothing that would be quite light, quite
Sure.
baggy,
Yeah,
not
100%.
tight, horrible in the hot Florida
Yeah.
weather.
Layers,
Even
yeah.
though the UK has braced us for it, I don't really want to be wearing loads of layers, loads of like makeup, maybe. You know,
Yeah.
I want to go as a casual pirate, and I think I could do a casual pirate pretty well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we're all going as pirates.
You could
I'm
do like
very
a
excited
Somali
for
pirate.
that.
They're generally sort of t-shirts and shorts kind of guys. I don't know if you get the machete past
Yeah,
security, but that's an option.
probably not.
Just going up to Jack Sparrow and be like,
No,
"Look at
probably
me.
not.
I am the captain now."
Yeah, I'm the captain.
You will be able to go up to him as well. I don't know if you've seen, you know, in Adventureland this year for the Halloween party, on the stage, there's like a pirates party that happens in Adventureland, and Jack Sparrow's out there and Barbossa's out there, and music is playing all the time. They're doing like sea shanties and pirate songs, and like they're making a big deal out of like that part of Adventureland. So like this is like, instead of putting the live actors into the ride like they did a couple of years ago, now it's this big
Mm.
cavalcade thing, and Jack Sparrow gives out candy and all kinds of stuff. So you guys definitely have to go and get some photos there while you're all dressed up and stuff.
Yeah, I'm so excited for it. Honestly, like I've said to them like, look, if you, I've said this before as well. Like if someone wants to go and do something else, if they're like, I'm not feeling this
Yeah,
Halloween meet characters and stuff like that, I want to go and ride all the rides because they're low wait time.
yeah,
That's fine. Go and do that. I want to go and meet people. I'll walk off on my own. Like, this is kind of what I'm trying to allude to them. Like, if you all want to go and do something, that's fine.
mm,
You can go do that. But I'm going to go do this thing, and I will. I would love to do that. Yeah, like I, you know, I think it's going to be great just to see it all. I do quite just like plodding along around Disney World, like Magic
yeah,
Kingdom, Epcot,
yeah.
Studios, Animal Kingdom. I just like looking around, taking it all in, and that might sound really boring to a lot of people, but like I do just love to appreciate the atmosphere of being at Disney.
Mm.
Um, it's just so nice. It's such a stress
It is,
relieving
and
time.
a lot
But
of
yeah,
that
that's what I'm
is
excited for the most.
a lot of that's deliberate as well on the part of Disney. Like, you know,
Mm.
they, if all they wanted you to do was ride rides, it would be like Alton Towers, and you would just have like a plain path going from one roller coaster to the next roller coaster. But the
Mm.
magic of Disney World and the parks is the immersion, the craft and the detail and everything else. And I think it's very easy when you're going for the first time, because I did this, to just be like rides, attractions, shows, nothing else. And I think you've kind of, you know, as someone who's gone multiple times now, and something like, and you guys will be going back again, you can kind of approach it in that different way, where like your friends might be more excited about just getting ride to ride to ride, but you've ridden everything for starters, except for one or two new or updated things. But you know, you're going back again, you've been before, so I think it becomes a lot easier to justify just soaking up atmosphere, taking your time, just enjoying being present and being down there. So I totally get where you're coming from. I really
Hmm.
like just wandering around as well, to be honest with you, and just, you know, grab a drink or a snack and go and sit somewhere for a little bit. And like there, it doesn't matter how many times you've been, you'll see something new as well. There'll be a hidden Mickey somewhere, or there'll be a particular pattern in a lattice work above a doorway that has got some sort of film reference to it, or there's always going to be stuff that you're going to see for the first time, even though it was there every other time you've been, because it can be really overwhelming. So I think, yeah, that's fair
Oh
enough.
yeah.
And if you're explaining to the guys that's the way that you will probably want to do things from time to time, then fair enough. I think we're going to be the same to a degree. The other family that we're traveling with, they got that UK combo deal on like Florida tickets or attraction tickets or wherever, where it's the 14-day Disney and the 14-day Universal. And I think part of that is that, again, we're DVC, we go every year, every other year, whatever, but they don't know when they're coming back again. So they want to absolutely cram in as much as they possibly can. So whilst we're doing like 2 days in the
Hmm.
parks and then a day off at the hotel by the pool or down at Springs or whatever, they're just like hammering theme parks the entire time. And I think there will be times where we're maybe in a park and we just want to go and sit and have a bite to eat, whereas they are just like, no, I have to go and ride this ride, otherwise when am I going to ride it? And the cool thing is we've all kind of discussed that ahead of time and everyone's on board with that and everyone's okay with that. So everyone's still getting to do what they want to do. And hopefully it
Hmm.
means that, no one feels like they're getting left out or ignored, or they're not getting to do the thing that they desperately wanted to do. We've also had a bit of a discussion about like what's everyone's favorite kind of 2 or 3 things in each park, or what are they most looking forward to make sure that that everyone gets to do. They might not get to do everything, but we'll make sure everyone gets to do their top kind of few things that they desperately want to do in each park as well. Because when you're traveling with a bigger group, that
Mm.
gets harder and harder to do, I think. So yeah, but yeah,
Well,
we're doing
yeah,
the Halloween
definitely, because
party.
everyone's going to
Yeah,
want to do loads.
yeah, we're doing the
Mm.
Halloween party as well. So we didn't do that last year. Doing it this year. Uh, my daughter's really excited because we aren't a vegan family anymore. We were back when we did the last Halloween party, so she's gonna be able to load up on like real junk food this time. With all the Skittles and the M&Ms and everything they give you for trick or treat. So she's really looking forward to doing that. And this is slightly blasphemous to say, but I think one of the things I'm most excited for is Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, because I have got my
Oh
ticket
my god.
and I've got my express pass as well, and I'm meeting up with a couple of friends while I'm there as well. So there's a couple who I've known for ages. I've not seen them in a long time, but they just happened to be there at the same time. They got in touch um, earlier this year, basically saying like they'd watched the vlogs and they listened to the podcast and stuff, and they just wanted a bit of friendly advice about like booking stuff, and they said they were going to do Halloween Horror Nights. So I've really wanted to do it for a long time. And they've announced some houses for it, like from films and stuff that I really like this year. So I was like, why not go and do it? It means I'm not going solo.
Oh yeah.
um and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a good evening. Plus I think the following day the girls are going to Discovery Cove to do like a dolphin swimming experience, which I was not interested in
Oh,
doing.
Discovery Cove is great.
Yeah, I hear it's really cool because like all your food's included with your ticket as well, and there's like all kinds of like water rides, and yeah, I hear it's a really
Yeah.
good time. But the tickets, including the dolphin experience, were not cheap, and I
Mm.
was not that fussed. I certainly wasn't fussed enough to just like if it had been a $50 ticket, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll go along. But it was substantially more than that, so I was like, nah, you guys go, have a fun day. I'll just wander around one of the parks and do a solo day and do some filming and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but then it
I mean,
kind of
I
worked
will
out.
admit,
Yeah,
with Discovery Cove, honestly, if you get a chance one day, I do encourage you to do it at least once,
yeah,
even if you don't do the dolphin. Well, I've never done the dolphin experience because I don't really want to. It's not for me.
mm,
Um, but swimming in the kind of like man-made beach they have, and then honestly just going around the lazy river and then getting out and going through the Avery,
yeah,
having breakfast and lunch there. Um, it's really nice. Like it is not a nice. You do that for like half a day. You're at Discovery Cove. The other half a day, you go to Springs or you have a resort day, and
sure,
like honestly, it's such a nice way to break up the busy rush
Yeah.
in the middle and just do that, and then you've
Hmm.
just relaxed and yeah. But yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's
Fair
really
dues,
good fun.
man.
It's really good fun.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they enjoy it and they want to go back the next year or the next time we're there, then I may tag along. But it just kind of it was quite fortuitous, really, because I'm doing HHN the night before, so those guys will be
Mm,
out, and that means because Halloween Horror Nights doesn't finish till 2 a.m. and so I'm going to want to try and stick it out till the end of that if I can. But I'm
well,
going to
yeah,
need to sleep in a little bit. There was no way I was
yeah,
then going to get up at like 7 a.m. to go off to a water, a water park type thing. So
yeah.
it means I can kind of take my time in the morning. The day before is the day we check into the boardwalk as well. So it means that that following day I'll be free to kind of go around and do a bit of exploring and a bit of vlogging and a bit of a resort tour kind of thing as well. So it all kind of dovetailed together quite nicely in the end, which was good. Um, so but yeah, it feels like I say, it feels a little bit wrong to be like super excited about that, especially talking about it on the Disney podcast. But here we are. It's like one of the new things that we're doing this time. So that's always a very very good time. Are you all packed yet? You got your pants in your suitcase?
No,
No. How
I
are you a
I
night
am an
before kind of guy?
infamous. Oh, 100%. I know what I want. I know what I need. I basically next week I just won't wear anything that I plan to take to Disney.
Okay.
Um, and then probably the night before or the day before, I will do loads of washing and
Yeah.
drying
Yeah.
clothes to make sure I've got like enough boxer shorts, enough socks.
Hmm.
Obviously, you always take extra of them just in case,
Sure.
everyone has that thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's never happened to me,
but
but I'm always prepared for it on a trip. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, you never know. And mate, I've got extra in my suitcase and in my carry-on luggage. You never know. Um, but
Belt and braces. Yeah.
uh, but in general, yeah, I mainly pack everything like a night or 2 nights before.
Okay.
Ellie's brilliant. Ellie has a full checklist of everything we need.
Mm.
She's great. I For me, I'm pretty easy to pack. I pack a bag for my like toiletries
Yeah.
and like uh now I guess hair stuff.
Yeah.
Um
Product. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And just any like vitamins and stuff like that that I need, I take with them. I say need, I just take
Sure.
multivitamins and like
Yeah.
omega
Yeah. Yeah.
3 and vitamin D. So I should take a load of that with me as well, and then make sure that's all in my toiletry bag. Put that in. Enough t-shirts, enough boxers, enough socks, bottoms, um, some comfy bottoms for the ride out there, and
Hmm.
I always pack a hoodie as well because if when I like get back to the UK, I'm going to be very cold,
Sure.
and going to Florida, I will probably have like a hoodie on in case it gets cold on the plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, then going to take my Kindle
Hmm.
in my carry-on luggage, an iPad because I'm going to download films because in case there's no films that I want to watch on the plane.
Yeah.
Um, Chargers for everything, and I've then got well for Christmas, Ellie bought me a little camera that has like an SD in it, but it takes photos as if it's like a disposable camera,
Oh, I've
and
seen
I've
those.
been
Yeah.
using that. Yeah, I've been using that throughout the year, and at the
Yeah.
end of the year, I want to get everything in there printed off and put it in a big 2026 photo album.
That's a nice idea, man.
Um, yeah, I think it'd be really cool just to have a whole 2026. 'Cause I've done quite a lot this year
Yeah.
of like random things, and yeah, Disney will probably be like one of the major highlights in it.
Sure.
There's going to be so many photos, blooming heck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of things I take and pack, and some sun cream.
Yeah. We end up getting a lot of that kind of stuff once we're over there, because we hire the car, so we'll go to like a Target or a Walmart. And
Yeah.
we like to stock up on like American drugs anyway because they don't care how much paracetamol you buy. They'll sell you like a bucket with 500 paracetamol in it for like
Mm.
$1.99. They're not bothered. So we'll do that, and we'll get like melatonin and just like absolutely raid Walgreens. So we travel a little lighter on that side, but then we've got a lot of other considerations with like Victoria's wheelchair and the extra batteries we need for that. But I mean, like personally, I think I'm quite similar to you. Like I've got my clothes that I know I'm going to take. I've got my basic toiletries, and then I've got like iPad, Switch, Kindle, my vlogging like gear, and then that's it. I'm generally kind of covered. I find that like anything else like that I miss, you can usually get something very very similar when you're over there, so it's not worth freaking out about
Oh
ahead of
yeah.
time. I think we just pack early because we get very excited, and it sort of feels like the holiday's starting a little bit sooner. Like you're kind of teasing it out a little bit and just kind of getting ready to go. One of the many many nice things about staying in DVC is laundry facilities. So if you're in like a one bed villa or above, you get your own washing machine and tumble dryer as well. So you don't necessarily have to pack like 2-3 weeks worth of clothes. You can just take 5-6 nights worth of stuff, and then chuck it all in your laundry when and go out to the parks for the day or whatever, and just kind of do that. So that's quite freeing, that you're not having to like
Mm.
consider a fortnight's worth of stuff. And we've even done it before where we've been, and like the day before we fly home, we've washed everything, so we've not got that thing of like getting back and having 15 loads of laundry to do and stuff as well. So, but yeah, doing your laundry at Disney World, what a first world problem.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so yeah, it's not that long. I think no promises, but we're going to try and get together and maybe do a little bit of a trip report type thing on our crossover if we can. If you're still up for doing that, I can come and find you
Yeah.
wherever
I mean,
you are on.
I would be for sure. It all depends on like realistically how tired I'm going to be
Yeah,
after 2 weeks of blitzing Disney, Universal. Just got to
you'll be
recover from
fine.
all of that.
Yeah,
And then also if everyone, because obviously if we've got like plans and everything, but I am well up for it as long
yeah.
as we all have time for sure.
Yeah, yeah. We'll try and figure out the logistics, and if we can do it, we will. If
Yeah.
not, you know, that's that's it. But it would be pretty cool to sit in the Animal
That'd be
Kingdom
so
Lodge
cool.
lobby and record an episode or something. So
Oh,
I'm sure we'll manage something. So
mm,
with that, I think it's time we move on to the news. And what a
indeed.
week it's been! So it, as of recording, has just been the D23 convention celebration thing over in Anaheim. They do this every year. One year they do it in Anaheim, the other year they do it down in Florida. But Anaheim is generally the year that you get the bigger announcements. That said, I think the general consensus is that there wasn't a lot of massive news this year. It was a lot of kind of updates on things that we already know about for the most part. A
Mm,
few kind of like reveals of certain details and a couple of. There weren't even any really sort of solid opening dates for anything. Everything was a bit kind of like next year,
mm-hmm.
2028. Some exciting stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like there's some stuff I'm really really looking forward to, but the vast majority of it was stuff I was already looking forward to. You know, so that said, should we get started? Where do you want to start off? We're going to mainly talk about Walt Disney World. I know there were some announcements for the other parks, but you know, our heart is in Florida. So yeah, where do you want to begin, mate?
Mm. Well, the first thing on my notes
Mm.
is just the update on the Carousel of Progress refurb.
Right, yeah.
Uh,
That was a pretty
that's what I've
cool
got.
announcement with the voice
Yeah,
actors and stuff, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
expecting that at all. So if you're not aware, I mean, I know I joke at the beginning of the podcast that we're the only Disney World podcast. Obviously, there's 500 others, and they're all talking about D23 this week. But I thought if you weren't aware, it was announced that Father is being played by Bryan Cranston. the dad from Malcolm in the Middle. And then the mother, Sarah, is being played by Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen herself, which I was really excited for. I thought that was really cool. Did you see the little message that Bryan
Mm.
Cranston put up with the announcement where he was talking about like his history with the ride and stuff?
No, I didn't actually see it. I can't lie. I've
It was, yeah.
with D23, I've sort of like I've not actually fully watched it.
Okay.
I know, yeah, no, shocker. I've read about it all,
Yeah,
but
the
I've not
summaries.
had a
Yeah.
full on. I've not had time to like because I want to sit and watch from
Mm.
start to finish,
Yeah, yeah,
and I am doing stuff all the time at the minute, and it's
yeah.
freaking out my little brain. But yeah, I've not actually finished watching it yet. But me and Ellie are going to sit down and fully go through it all.
Yeah, it was a fun show. But yeah, he basically jumped on and said he remembers his father taking him to the World's Fair back in the 60s to see it when it debuted. Because obviously Carousel Progress was designed
Really?
for the World's Fair in the original. So it it was a
Hmm.
real full circle moment, if you'll
It's a real
excuse the pun,
show.
for him
Yeah.
to be able to come back and voice, kind of the main character. And then Jamie Lee Curtis coming in as the mother. Obviously, we love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's great, Scream Queen. But this, I think it's the 1980s segment. She's going to be the main character who's kind of doing the speech. So it's going to be the first time that
Hmm.
the mother of the family is kind of the central figure and not the father. And so it's cool that they've got someone of like real renown who's generally quite beloved in that role as well. So I thought that was pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing the new version whenever it ends up happening.
I think they're aiming for spring 27, if I'm right.
Yeah. It seemed like it was quite
Um,
a short turnaround.
yeah, which shocking. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited for this because I love Carousel of Progress, and I was actually
Mm.
talking to someone who, when I was in the office with my friend Jake, uh, a guy that literally sits next to him was like, "Oh, I'm going to Disney World, the day that Jake comes back," and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, me and my missus go every year. We go Disney, Universal."
Yeah.
And we were talking about Carousel of Progress, and he was like, "I absolutely love it." He was like, "It's such a good ride. Like
Yeah.
you can just well ride show."
Yeah.
He's like, "You can just sit, you get some aircon for a bit. It's also just there's something about Carousel of Progress that is just so nice.
Yes.
Like you sit there, it's relaxing, you're just chilled, and you get this really cute little show. And I mean, I've got the scenes here that are allegedly
Oh yeah.
going to be in it,
Yeah.
which I can, yeah. So like, there's going to be a new opening sequence, which I believe is going to have a figure of Walt.
Yeah, they announced that a little while back that there's going to be a Walt
Yeah,
animatronic
yeah,
similar to the one that swaps out with Abe Lincoln at
yeah,
Disneyland. So I know that was a bit of a controversial thing when that came out because a lot of people weren't overly pleased with the way he looked and moved. But
mm.
I thought it was pretty cool, and obviously this will be iterating on that as well. So hopefully that will kind of,
Oh
the
yeah.
Imagineering department will take into consideration what some people's criticisms and build upon it. But yeah, I think for saying it's
Mm.
an attraction that very clearly had Walt's hands in it originally, it's kind of nice that he's being added to it. Although I'm also fairly certain that at one point Walt did say he never wanted to be an animatronic. But here we are. It's happening.
Yeah,
His family, his
yeah,
estate, they were just like, yeah, fine, stick him in, whatever. Not a problem. Big rubber
mm.
robot version of
Yeah,
Grandad, not a problem, fine. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
that's going to be like
Yeah,
the, yeah.
I'm in two minds of it.
Hmm.
I think it's cool,
Yeah.
but also I don't like because it's it's him. Like, does he really want to be an animatronic? Maybe he doesn't. But obviously, I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Yep.
But again, it's one of them where it's kind of like I understand why people are doing it and you can do it. It's very very nice, yeah. But also like you should respect people's wishes, things
Yes.
like that. So I'm in two minds of it. I'm on two sides. I like it. I think it's cool. I understand why, but also, guy probably wouldn't have been a fan of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, with that, I believe Act One is the summer of 1969.
Yeah. So they're gonna have
Uh,
Brian Adams playing.
to watch. Yeah, I think they're watching the moon landing, if I'm
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
which is going to be really cool. And then Act Two will be Halloween, 1985,
Yeah.
and then Sarah will take the center stage
Hmm.
and going, which is I think that's really cool. I like that.
I like the
It's
fact that there's
different.
going to be a little bit of Halloween all year round in the Magic Kingdom now. The fact that,
Oh yeah.
obviously they like Halloween anyway. They kick it off in August when it's still
Mm.
blaring hot. But the fact that, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter when you go. You could go in March, but there'll be a little taste of Halloween in there that you can go and experience. You can go and do the Haunted Mansion, and you can go and do Act Two of Carousel of Progress. Well, you'll have to do the whole thing. I think you struggle to
Exactly.
get off once it started, but yeah.
Well, yeah, true. Act Three is
Yep.
New Year's Eve in 1999.
Okay.
Uh, Obviously, start of the millennium.
Yeah.
Uh, Internet changes everything, and I believe Act Four is meant to be the future.
Yes.
Um,
The concept art looks like very Tomorrowland, very
yeah,
like that retro futurism Jetsons kind of thing that I think they're going for. That again, like looks like a very cool idea. I think deliberately building it into a future that's heavily stylized will help it to not age out in a way that it would
mm,
if they were going for like realistic ideas of what the future's going to look like. So yeah, like the whole
yeah,
kind of flying cars and all of that kind of stuff looks pretty sweet. Yeah, I love Carousel of Progress as well. I think between that and the People Mover, it's two of the best ways to relax in that theme park. So I can't
mm.
wait for it to be back open again. Looks very, very cool. What else is happening in the Magic Kingdom then, Harry?
I think we got an update on Piston Peak Cars Land
We
as well,
did. We got
if
a
I'm
big
right.
old update. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I can't wait for Piston Peak,
Are you a
honestly.
Cars guy? Do you like the
Um,
films?
oh, so Cars 1,
Yeah.
absolute gold. Cars
Okay.
2, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Cars 3 brings that heart and soul that Cars 1 brought to the Pixar lineup originally. Like, you watch
Okay.
Cars 1 and, like, I'm sorry if people disagree with me, and you're wrong if you do. But Cars 1 is such a good film. It's so good. Like, I remember watching that when I was quite young, and like I was at the point where Cars came out where I was like either teenager or going into teenager, I'm pretty sure. So I was kind of like, I'm not going to watch cartoons. I'm a
For kids.
teenager or
Yeah,
nearly
yeah.
a teenager. Yeah, but I watched it. Cars was sick. That opening sequence with Lightning McQueen
Sure.
being like, "I am speed," and then the cars going really fast, and he's like, "Fast and fast, quicker than quick." Anyway, such a cool film.
Yeah.
Brilliant soundtrack, brilliant characters, great animation. Um, what's not to like? And it had so much, like I said, like soul. Like you can kind of understand the story as well. Lightning McQueen, this big egotistical guy, and he gets grounded by ending up in Radiator Springs,
Mm.
and it's so good. And then Cars 2 was a bit out there. I felt obviously it's the international spy.
Yeah.
Mater is mainly the main character. And
Mm.
whilst I think Mater is great for like comic relief and he's pretty funny, he's a great character. I think focusing on that too much I didn't enjoy loads. There were parts of it that I enjoyed where they're going through like all the disguises for him, and that made me laugh.
Yeah.
And when he encounters the guy like drifting round, which is obviously like a nod to like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift,
Yeah.
it made me laugh. But overall, I didn't really care for it. And then Cars 3, which I only watched this year actually. I hadn't seen Cars 3 because I was quite skeptical on watching it. And I did watch it, and honestly, it was really good. And it's essentially, if no one has watched it, which you should, it's obviously Lightning McQueen realizing that he's old. He can't race as much. He can't keep up with these new cars, these modern cars that are like have advanced racing training. So they're like not training on the track. They have this thing. It's like a simulation racing, and they're getting ahead of him essentially.
Yeah.
And he enters his like last race, and he gets halfway through, and then some new things happen. But essentially, it's him realizing that he's old, but that doesn't mean that he's like nothing and like done with his life. He's just changed role, and he sees this new person, and he's like, "You should be a racer." And this person, she's like, "Oh, this car," is like, "No, I'm not a racer. I shouldn't do that. I want to." And he encourages it, and it's just really good, and it brings that like heart and soul back that it lost a little bit with cars too. But yeah, safe to say, I like cars. Um, in general. So I'm very excited for Piston Peak. The
Yeah.
model looks really cool.
Yes.
There's stuff from Cars 3 in it, which is really good.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
one of the rides is like completely revolving around one of the characters from
yeah,
the third movie, which is an
yeah.
interesting choice, but it seems to make sense.
Well, yeah.
So
I
that
mean, for the
was,
type of ride, perfect
yeah.
sense.
So with the one that we're talking about is Miss Fritter's Daredevil something. My phone's
It
autocorrected, so I
is,
yeah.
yeah, it is Misfit. Yeah, something or other. It's sort of like it's a family-friendly attraction, really. Like I would
It
describe it, where
yeah.
I feel like anyone can get on it, and it would just take you around in a kind
It
of figure of eight
looks,
thing.
yeah,
It
it
looks
looks
like.
like it's going to be a similar ride system to Alien Swirling Saucers in Hollywood Studios or the Baymax ride that they have in Tokyo. I think it's going to be one of those kinds of like a
Or
teacup sea
if
kind of
you've
thing,
been
maybe.
to Disney Paris, there's a Cars ride there that does something very similar. It's
Oh
just
man,
a bit
alive!
naff.
Oh, the
Um,
I I am generally quite generous when it comes to Disney and their ride building and everything else, but I cannot think of a bigger flub in the past kind of 20 years than the Cars road trip or whatever it is. I watched a great I think it was like a Mammoth Club vlog where they'd gone to Paris, and obviously these guys go to like Disneyland all the time, and you've like the Cars land there, the Radiator Springs is like you're walking into the films, so they've got these expectations of like you know that you can literally stay in the Cozy Cone Motel in Disneyland
mm,
so they go on this and it's that old backlot stunt show thing that they've just rethemed. But so much of it is you're just driven around in a tram and you're looking at static models of the cars from Cars, and then like their voice comes over the speaker, but they're not blinking, they're not moving. There's loads of just like billboards with Cars puns on them. And then you get to the section where there's like the lorry, and for no real reason that we can tell, it explodes and sets on fire. And then you just go back around to the. I'm just like, the thing is, that ride takes up so much space at the back of that park as well. Like, that circuit is huge. That's like,
mm.
if you could, I mean, it's a lot of money, but you could like bulldoze that and put like you could put whole new land in there, like 3 or 4 new attractions. Or I have to assume at some point that's going to happen because I don't know anyone who's come off of Cars road trip in Disneyland Paris going, oh my God, that was fantastic. We have to go and do that again. Like, that's my new number one in Disney Adventure World. Like, that thing is just woof, you know. So yeah, hopefully Piston Peak is a little more exhilarating than that. It certainly looks like it. Like you say, you've got
Mm.
the Miss Fritter, whatever that ends up being, but then the other ride, which is like the big exciting thrill ride, looks really really cool. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if
Ridge
you've got
Run
it
Rally.
written. Ridge Run Rally. That's it. Yeah, and like it looks like you're in like you're in, I don't know what the vehicle's going to be, but it's going to have like real tires and real suspension and stuff. They're talking about the fact that like you're going to feel like you're being thrown around a little bit because you're going over rough terrain, and it's not a simulation. You're actually going around these, you know, sort of rough dirt
You're
road
going
kind
through
of
all the
things.
peaks and
Yeah,
everything, and over all the what are they called? Uh, oh, I forgot what they're called, but like all the geysers or whatever they are,
sure. Yeah, yeah,
like the hot
yeah.
springs, stuff like that.
Yes, yeah,
It's
yeah.
meant to simulate like an off road driving
Race.
experience,
Yeah, yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
And yeah, and you're racing to get the fastest lap
Yep.
in the West.
Yeah.
And it's designed to simulate that off-road driving, and I think it'll be really good. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah,
Life
apparently
is a highway,
it's going to be the
and I want to
wildest
ride it.
ride in the wilderness. The
Yeah.
wilderness. I go, I
Oh,
can't take credit for that.
we're
That's apparently
terrible.
that's an actual pun from the ride. But you're going to have commentary from Lightning McQueen and Mater the whole time as well. So they're in like a commentary box, like as you're going around. So you're going to hear them, kind of discussing what's happening as you're going around and stuff as well. So yeah, I'm not the biggest Cars guy. Like those films never really connected with me. But like the land itself looks really cool. I think they're doing a lot of work to try and tie it to Frontierland to make it feel like it
Yeah.
it it blends in that way where I think it's going to be 2028 before that thing's open. I can't see that being ready to open next year with the current state of construction and stuff. But yeah, you've got so two rides. I think there's going to be like the main building is going to be like a gift shop, quick servicey kind of thing as well. I mean, Cars made like I don't even know how much money it's made on merchandise. I think that's the reason we got like 3 films and a bunch of like shorts and everything else. Is like
Mm.
even now you walk into a supermarket, you will find the little Hot Wheels like Cars toys. This is years after there's been a movie, and those things are still there and they're obviously still selling. That thing moved a lot of merch. So and that obviously
Mm.
helps kind of dictate how much they want to invest in that IP in the parks and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see. And it would just be nice to be able to go back to Magic Kingdom when the walls are down, because it's construction city at the moment. So I'm looking forward to it
Yeah.
kind of being done and, being able to go on Big Thunder Mountain and look out over the whole thing, because it's all going to be very hilly and everything else. So yeah, exciting times for that. Also in that part of the park, we had some updates for Villains Land, including, do you hear, Harry? They've revealed the name of the land, which I thought was
Oh
pretty
yeah, they did.
exciting.
I was
Yeah,
shocked, honestly. I didn't expect this at
many
all.
were, many
Um,
were.
it fully took me by surprise. I've never heard such a genius name.
So for anyone who isn't aware, the name of Villains Land is going to be Villains Land, and fair enough, because Tomorrowland and Frontierland and Adventureland and Fantasyland and Villains Land, I get it. What I don't get is why they felt the need to make a big announcement. We were already all calling it Villains Land. No one was calling it anything else. So and I get the idea behind it. Like people call Galaxy's Edge Star Wars Land, and they call Pandora Avatar Land and things like that. So they were like, why bother? Why bother coming up with anything creative? Let's just call it Villains Land. We'll call it a day. But yeah, they felt the need to kind of pad out some of D23 by taking the time to formally announce the fact that it will be called Villains Land. I am really, really pumped for it, though. We saw some maquettes and mock-up miniatures of some of the things that you're going to see when you first walk in. So, like the weird, creepy trees that Snow White sees when she goes into the forest in the movie, they're going to be like greeting you as you walk in. It looks like it's all going to be very atmospheric. They have announced that there's going to be 2 rides. There were rumors that it was going to be a Emperor's New Groove roller coaster. Either pull the lever,
Hmm.
wrong lever, and then all of that kind of stuff. But it turns out we're getting a Maleficent themed coaster.
Maleficent coaster, yeah.
Yeah, which looks pretty epic. So you're going to be you going all around like the castle, and then like the briar thatch, like all the thorns and everything. And yeah, we've only had concept art so far. There's no real info on like timeline or anything like that. We've not seen any miniatures or maquettes of like the actual build of the coaster itself, but the concept art all looks really, really cool. Maleficent's still a very big part of the parks, with the character showing up for like meet and greets and stuff a lot. So she's in a lot of the shows and things, so that's really, really cool. And then the other one was what was it, Harry? Was it a boat ride? It was a boat ride, right?
The other one, I believe it is a is boat ride. So it's a dark ride hosted by the Magic Mirror,
That's it. That's it.
and
Yeah. You're
I
going to
believe
go
it
under the Evil
features
Queen's.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it goes in the catacombs beneath the Evil Queen's palace,
Yes.
and the mirror transports you into his mirror realm,
Ooh.
which is a space where Disney villains are conjured through a combination of like just special effects and like physical set pieces as well.
Yes.
But I'm very excited for that actually because I'm almost excited. I think I am actually excited for that more than the Maleficent coaster.
Oh, he loves
Like
a
I think
boat
the
ride.
Maleficent coaster is going to be amazing, but I love just a dark ride,
Yeah.
a little dark ride. But speaking of the Maleficent ride, though, sorry, just to go back to that point,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we got like a little video close up of like a miniature of it.
Oh, did we? Oh, I haven't seen that then.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
oh, fair dues.
I will link it you
Yeah, yeah,
after this because
yeah. That's cool.
it is fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Send that over.
yeah. Sorry, I
I'll
just
put
wanted
it
to
in the
double
show
check that I
notes as well.
wasn't.
So yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy because I was like, I swear, I didn't dream this. And they
Oh
had
no,
like a
fair
little
enough.
miniature track with like
Okay.
trees and stuff. And I've just googled it and it was there. But yeah, anyway,
Oh, there we go.
yeah, the mirror ride. I'm very excited for that. I think that,
Mm,
like I said, that is probably what I am actually more excited for.
yeah.
Um, that and also the gift shops. I love a gift shop
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I I've got to a point where like this time I'm going, I'm not going to actually buy that many things. I'm going to buy some pins
Yeah.
because I'm a pin boy,
Yeah.
but I'm also a pin snob. So I will probably only buy a few pins
Sure.
that are new.
Mm,
Like if a ride has a new pin and I really like that ride, I will buy it.
yep.
I will
Yep.
probably buy a Pirates of the Caribbean pin.
Yep.
If you slap the words limited and edition on a pin,
It's
I'm
coming
going
home
to
with
buy
you.
it if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of lucky I'm not in DVC because I would buy pins all year round.
Yeah.
Because you can get exclusive DVC pins,
Oh, I'm
if
aware.
you did not know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm very excited for all the merchandise that's going to be there. I'm also excited for when it is open. Halloween is going to be interesting
Right.
because I want to know what they're going to do with
Mm,
that land during Halloween. Are they going to just
yeah.
bring out like more Disney villains? Are they going to do maybe a small Disney villain parade in Disney Villains Land?
That'd be great.
Um, you know, that'd be cool. That'd be sick. That'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing. I think we've talked about this before, but I think Streetmosphere is one of those things that sometimes feels it's a little bit lacking these days, and so that's an opportunity to bring a
Mm,
lot of that back, more of the kind of roaming characters, and maybe like little
yeah.
mini shows, little flash mob type shows and things. They do that like the Hoedown in Frontierland, and it's not a specific time necessarily. You just kind of have to happen upon it, and so there's definitely opportunity for things like that to happen in Villains Land. Um, and yeah, I get what you mean about like the gift shops and stuff. It's I'm trying to be a little bit more sensible this time around because we had to buy an extra suitcase last year due to all the Star Wars nonsense that I insisted on bringing back home with us. But yeah, uh, we do a lot of pin trading and things, so that helps keep costs down a little bit. But yeah, Victoria is she enjoys feeling fancy. So if there's a DVC exclusive thing and she can whip out the DVC membership and be like, "That's right, I'm a member. Sell me the thing," then she'll go for it as well. But yeah, I think it's crazy because this is like this big an expansion hasn't happened in
Quite
Magic
some time.
Kingdom. The biggest thing they've done up until now would be Storybook Circus at the back end of Fantasyland, but even that was like they were kind of reusing existing areas and kind of taking a load
Mm.
of stuff away and putting something new in its place. Whereas this is literally like they're having to like get rid of car parks and traffic's having to go different routes and things now because they've kind of got this big hunk of land that they're building into. So yeah, it's going to be really fun over the next kind of 18 months, 2 years, watching it all come together and slowly be revealed and everything else. So yeah, I'm really pumped for it. I
Mm.
can't wait. Like I say, we're not going back after this until 2028. So I'm really kind of hoping that by autumn of 2028, which is like when we're likely to go, that some of this stuff is there and happening. So yeah. Was anything else happening in Magic Kingdom that they announced that they were changing out?
Not that I've got written down. I mean, there might be stuff
Yeah.
happening, but those couple of things, well, a few things drew
Yeah.
my attention the most. You know,
Yeah.
Carousel,
Yeah, man.
Piston Peak,
Yeah.
and the Villains Land. Like
Yeah.
I am so excited for that. All three of those things. Well, three of those things. There's obviously multiple things going on, but all of those things in general, I'm
Big
very
projects.
excited for, and
Absolutely.
cannot wait.
Where do you want to go next? Where are you taking us to next, and Harry? What's on the horizon for?
So, I was actually talking about this park today at
Mm?
work with my team leader and my operations manager,
Okay.
and we were discussing Epcot
Yes.
and how I think Epcot is great. Now, the first thing I recorded or noted down is Spaceship Earth is going to be getting a update for its first time in I think it's like 20 years or something like
Yeah, yeah. They proposed to
that.
do it a while ago, and then COVID happened, and they
Mm,
kind of put it on the back burner after that.
yeah,
Which I'm assuming they kind of wanted to do it at the same time. You remember a few years ago, like Epcot was just like the big grey like walls everywhere. Like there was, when
yeah,
they were like completely redoing like the front and then like all around that side part and everything. And there was like a good couple of years where it was just like you had to walk the entire way around the park essentially to get to where you wanted to
yeah.
go. Um, but then it just didn't happen for whatever reason. They put it on the back burner, but they have announced that, yeah, it's going over a pretty major overhaul. They've been a little bit vague with what that means. So
I
I
think
don't know.
they're
Yeah.
bringing it more into line with like modern day as well, because obviously there's Spaceship Earth. For anyone that's not been on it, it goes through kind of like the history of history, time,
It's themed to
us,
communication is the
really.
the thing. Yeah, that was
Well,
the
yeah,
idea. Is yeah.
but it is quite like a. I know it's yeah communication, but it is quite like a historical thing. Like when you get on
Mm,
it in general, like it goes through quite a lot.
yeah.
And yeah, you are right. It is like communication. You know, thank the Phoenicians. Um,
Yes, Judy.
but I I think they want to bring it more in line with like what's going on, because you kind of get to like the I think they talk about like the moon landing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At the minute, and then after that, technology on that ride like it doesn't advance much. It goes into the future, and you make your own little future self.
Yeah, could this
And I
happen to you? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I think they're going to make it more like in line with what's actually happened, and then probably go forwards and do
Yeah,
that still that little bit.
yeah. I hope they get Judy
Yeah,
Dench back to
I think they are
narrate
bringing
it
it
or
into the
whatever else.
internet age as well.
Well, that would make
Yeah, like
sense.
internet and stuff like that.
We're,
Yeah.
we're a quarter of a century into kind of having everyone having the internet
Mm.
in their homes and on their persons and everything. So it's relevant to discuss, I think. But yeah, I'm looking
Mm.
forward to it. I don't love the fact that it's going to have to close, but obviously it has to close for it to be updated, and it's exciting to see
Yeah.
whatever it ends up being. I hope they keep. I'm sure they'll update it, but I hope they keep whatever. The when you come out of the ride and you've got that. I can't remember its name, but it's got like all the little computers and the little games and things you can do.
Yeah, all the
You know what
little
I mean?
arcade kind of place. Yeah.
What's that thing called? That's going to annoy me. But like, it's a nice little
Pass.
place to again like air conditioning. It's kind of like the entrance to Geo 82's right by there as well. But it'd be nice to maybe update that with some more modern technology and everything, because everything in there does feel a little bit outdated at this point. But to have that, kind of hands-on tactile area for like kids to play and learn and do Epcot type things. So I'm kind of hoping they
Hmm.
they maybe renovate and overhaul, but still keep that area for us to enjoy.
I think it's called the uh, Advanced Training Lab, if I'm right.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Uh, that's what I'm looking at right now on Walt Disney World. Advanced Training Lab.
Yeah.
Uh, oh wait, no, this is after. This is after. Uh, no, this is not the right one. I am
Okay.
wrong. This is after Mission. uh,
Oh yeah, that's like got
mission
the source,
space,
the
not
soft
Space
play
Rebellion.
area and everything else. Yeah, yeah, um,
Yeah,
yeah. So whatever it is, it's a
yeah,
cool little area. It would just
that
a,
place.
a touch of love would not go amiss in there, you
Mm.
know. Um, so yeah, that would be
Do
really
you
really
know
cool. So
what
that's
else
mm,
is
oh
going on
I'm
in
yeah
Epcot?
I'm aware. I'm very excited by this,
Yeah,
as were many who watched
I
D23 at the time. Yeah,
yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure you knew because I'll
yeah,
let you. If you know, I'm going to let you talk about because I
yeah.
know your love for this specific thing.
I'm not alone. There are dozens of us,
No, you're
dozens.
not. You're very much not. You're very much not
Um,
alone. I support you. All for it.
yeah. So I am a Figment apologist, and I love that little purple freak. He's great. Um, I enjoy the ride in its current format, Journey into Imagination. Part of what I love about it is the fact that I've never had to wait in a queue for it because no one else seems to ever want to go on it. So like the amount of times we've been on, there's been no one else on the ride with us at the same time. Um, I really like it, but I've always liked it. It was one of those things that like I latched on to that character as a kid when I was looking at like other people's like videos of going and stuff like that. I just thought he was really cool. I was always like, why has he not got a movie? Why has he not got an animated series? And they announced that Journey into Imagination, the current version with Eric Idle as Dr. Channing, is going away and it's all being overhauled and redone. And they are bringing back Dreamfinder, which, if you're under 30, you probably have no idea who Dreamfinder is. But in the 80s, he was Figment's mate. He was Figment's buddy in exploring the imagination and going off on adventures and things like that. And the other thing I really like about him, Harry, he's a big dude with a ginger beard. So that means I've got potential job application there. I think, you know,
Mm.
I met Figment at the meet and greet 2 years ago and I said, do you not think I would make a good dream finder, you know, if he was to ever come back? And he was quite enthusiastic that that would be a good idea. So watch out, Walt Disney World. In a couple of years, I might be walking around with a great big top hat and a purple tuxedo, saying hi to everyone with my pal. But yeah, that was a really big thing. Like, you know, surprisingly big. I knew he had his fans, but it seems like the internet went a little bit wild about this announcement. I know at D23, Neil Patrick Harris actually dressed up as the Dreamfinder, and at the very end of the show, and it was kind of like there, you know, we've got one last thing to show you, and he kind of came out. So yeah, I'm again, there's not really a big timeline for when that's happening or how long it's going to take for that to happen, but again, like it's one of those things that a lot of people didn't bother with when they were in the parks anyway. So I'm sure it won't be missed until it reopens and it's popular again. I don't know whether it will get that thing that like Carousel of Progress got, where as soon as they announced it was going away, everybody then sort of started flocking towards it and making it like, you know, really, really popular again because everyone's like, oh no, it's going away. This is our last chance to see this version of it. That might happen. But yeah, I'm really, really pumped for it. I think it's great. I think it's I think they've kind of over the past few years been trying to make more of an Epcot mascot out of Figment in terms of like he's very present on a lot of the festival merchandise, and the
Mm.
popcorn buckets have been like super duper popular with Figment. You know, he is an original character that very much represents that park and the sort of educational learning aspect of it, and you know the whimsy and everything else. So it's really cool that they're leaning into that and they're bringing back a classic character. I think everybody was generally pretty excited about it. So yeah, I still think he needs an animated movie or a, you know, like a Disney Plus series or something. We're getting one for Oswald, so
think I think a film for sure at some point.
yeah, man.
I think anyway. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be
He's had
cool.
some comics. Marvel did a couple of mini
Yeah.
series of comic books. So you can seek those out. I don't know where, but they exist in the world somewhere. So yeah, it wasn't lots and lots of news for Epcot, but Epcot has just been through some really really big changes. So it wasn't surprising to see that it was only kind of a couple of things that they were announcing, but cool things nonetheless. Things that definitely needed some attention and a little bit of updating. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. And then yeah, I just need to jump online and start the viral campaign. Hashtag Droom Finder. That's what we need to be pushing.
Hey, we could see it. We could see it.
Come on, all you listeners, all 13 of you, we're going to start this campaign, this online viral campaign. We're going to write letters to Josh D'Amaro and insist that I'm the right man for the role.
I mean, if anyone disagrees, that they, what the flip?
Yeah, absolutely. Victoria wants me to do it just because it means that we'd have a work visa and we could go and live over there. I have a more wholesome approach to it. I think I could embody the ethos of the Dream Finder and the journey into imagination. I'm not sure how well I would fare in the middle of summer in that big velvet overcoat thing that he wears walking around Epcot, but
yeah.
Why is Dream Finder passed out in the gift shop at the Seas? He's got a heat stroke.
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, on the floor.
Yeah. So I think that was it for Epcot. It was just those two things, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just those two things.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all I
Let's
can see anyway.
move along. So where are we going next, pal?
Now. So in our, park hopping day today that we're doing, I thought studios would be up next.
Yeah, boy. There's some stuff happening over there, which has been pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've got honestly, I think this is what everyone was waiting for, right?
Yeah.
Now, so I want you to imagine with me.
Yep.
The Millennium Falcon and Fortnite. No, we're not. Well, I mean, we can talk about that. But
yep.
Yeah, there's a collab, Galaxy's Edge, and Fortnite. Epic
Fortnite's
game.
everywhere. Yeah.
Fortnite is everywhere. It's the guy from Fortnite, man. But yeah, that's the thing. You can your kids can play Fortnite and go with Hondo and continue smuggling their runs. I don't know if that's a good thing to do.
You're not a big Fortnite player, Harry?
No. I've only ever played it once in my life, and that's because at my old job, we made a bet with one of the staff that if he could sell the most items in that day, me and the other team leader would play Fortnite with him. And I played one game and then uninstalled it, and that was it.
Yeah. I downloaded it once to see what the hubbub was about, and I just got very confused and scared by the whole thing. I think I got shot in the head by an 11-year-old about 45 seconds after I landed on the island. I don't know, mate. It just made me feel old. It made me feel old and out of touch. And I don't need a video game to tell me. I know what I am. Yeah. It never really resonated with me. But hey,
no, it's not a thing for me. But kids everywhere love it. So
they do. It's present at Halloween Horror Nights this year as well. One of the scare zones is a Fortnightmares scare zone, much to the chagrin of I think almost everybody over the age of about 22. But yeah, so it's obviously still making a lot of money because it's there. If you really wanted to understand the plot of Rise of Skywalker, you needed to have been a Fortnite fan. That's how ingrained in society and pop culture it is. So yeah. Anyway, that's our big news for this week. I'm kidding. So moving along
swiftly, Metropolis.
Yes.
Yeah. Got some announcements for that. They're aiming for it to land in 2027.
Yeah, they did this thing, didn't they? Where they were like, "Oh, it's going so well, we're going to open it early." And we're like, "Cool." You never told us when it was going to open before, so
yeah, exactly. It's like
that's
early.
Nice. Yeah, so spring next year, I think they're going for. But I think it's going to be one of these things where, remember how Galaxy's Edge opened before Rise of the Resistance?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be another deal like that where kind of the land is going to be open and you can walk around and you can maybe go to the gift shop and the food places, but the actual attraction itself will probably not be ready to go at the same time that they unveil everything else. So you probably have to wait a little bit longer for that.
Mm-hmm.
However, they have kind of given us a lot more details on what's going on in there now, which has been really, really cool.
Mm.
I think
It's gonna
yeah,
be themed around Human Day.
Human Day. So yes, this is
Yeah.
we're in a post Monsters Inc. world where they're now trying to build human monster relations. So you are invited to come into their world to visit Monstropolis and enjoy Human Day, where Mike, Sully, and everyone else is going to kind of try and convince you that monsters aren't bad. You know, it's a friendly place to be. So it's cool that they've got that little bit of storyline that justifies why there will be humans walking around Monstropolis.
Mm.
They have announced the Glob Theatre, where there's going to be a show put on by
Yep.
Mike and Sully, and I think Sully is kind of approaching it in a slightly more matter-of-fact, reserved way, and then Mike is being his usual Mike Wazowski self and go
Mm.
big or go home, you know, stuff. So that I think that's what they're doing with the old Muppet Vision Theatre.
Yeah.
So that's going to be what's there.
It's
There's
called Welcome
yeah,
to Monstropolis.
that was it. Yeah, that's the show. So it's cool that they're bringing in a new show to do. It's always nice to be able to have more of those types of experiences in place. You know, I love a roller coaster as much as the next person, but it's nice to have an actual, you know, AC, bit of seating, bit of time to just kind of, you know,
Mm.
cool yourself down, enjoy a little bit of entertainment before you head out into everything else. They have also announced, oh, was it Archie the Pig's Scare Pizza? I'm butchering this, but there's a pizza place.
Yeah, so Archer's Scare Pig Pizza.
I was nearly
Um,
there.
it's a pizza place.
Yeah.
I'm so cool with that. I love pizza. Pizza. So uh, I'm a big fan of food because I mean I go to blooming Disney World.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, nearly did a bad. Disney World every year, and I love the food
Yeah.
that they put in there. It's great, and I'll be honest, pizza is probably my favorite food.
Same.
Um, I absolutely love pizza, and it sounds really basic to say that. Like I almost hate that I love pizza so much because it's such a good food. Like it's so good, but it's so convenient. Like I could just have a slice of pizza and be done. Like I'm cool. It's not
Absolutely.
too messy, but also you can just eat it with your hands. If you eat
Yep.
it with knife and fork, you are a bit strange. But each to their own. Each to their own.
Very magnanimous of you.
I am a firm believer in pineapple on pizza
Okay.
because I think the sweet with the savoury is such a compliment. It's just amazing. Um, but yeah, pizza place. There's
So
also I
did
don't
you
know
ever,
how. Oh,
I'm
go
going
on.
to interrupt. Did you ever eat at Pizza Rizzo? Because I think that's what they're turning that into. You know, back when it was the Muppets Land and it was,
No,
you didn't.
no, I
Okay.
didn't.
Just wondered because that was like the home of the puffy pizza and it was all, yeah,
Mm,
it had very mixed reviews, but it kind of makes sense that they'd keep that as a pizza place because I'm guessing they've got like the, you know, like the pizza
like the
ovens and
pizza
stuff
ovens
already in
and
there. You're
stuff
just
like that.
redressing it all. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's an extra quick service in the park, so that's a good thing.
Exactly. Um, I don't know how to say it. My the title of this name is giving my dyslexia a nightmare.
Okay.
Uh, but Harry Horse Horse Horseman's sushi
Harryhausen's.
restaurant.
Yep.
Harryhausen's. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Harryhausen's restaurant is sushi. Another thing I love actually. I absolutely love sushi. Sushi is. I always find it weird that it's quite a controversial food because people are like, "Ooh, raw fish."
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not all raw fish like sushi, but a lot of people see that and they're like, "No."
Mm.
But you can, like, sushi is some of the best food I've had, and honestly, like, I'm so for sushi being put into the parks because, and I've said this on podcasts before, that like you go through Disney and like sometimes you need something different than just the beige food that you're getting everywhere. And I feel like with sushi, sushi's not actually that bad for you. It's pretty good. It's quite low in calories, but it's also full of like nutrients that you will need
Yeah.
just to go about. Like you could have sushi and be fine. And it's quite light. It's not too heavy on the stomach. So if you like myself and you're trying to lose a few pounds,
Mm.
um, going to Disney and having a sushi place is great. It's brilliant because you can go there, you can eat so much of it, and it'll fill you up because it's rice. Uh, it's got fish, which is a great source of just goodness for your body. Fish is great. Eat more fish, omega 3.
Brought to you by
Um,
the Fish Board. Yep.
yeah, and it's just quality. It's nice to have something else that isn't like a burger. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love a burger or pizza,
Yeah.
hot dogs, as much as the next fellow Disney adults.
You
But
do get to a
if
point in
anyone's
the
like me,
holiday. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. You get to a
yeah,
point in that
just
holiday, don't you, where
craving
you
something
just like,
not beige.
I need something green or, yeah, absolutely. Have you
Yeah,
had, have you had sushi anywhere else in Disney World before? Because there's a few places you can get it.
yes.
So where have you been?
Uh, the Japan Pavilion in
Uh huh.
Epcot.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's Shikisai
That's it.
and there's Takumite as well. Takumite, I believe, is a lot more expensive. We have eaten at Shikisai, which was wonderful,
Yeah,
really, really
cheap
nice.
size Barabian.
That's
Mm,
also a place where if you get yourself the right time slot, you can then go out on their balcony and watch the fireworks happen as well. If you can get like a sort of 8:15, 8:30 dining reservation, you can then get a really,
mhm,
really beautiful spot for watching Luminous. The other place that we've eaten
mm,
sushi is Morimoto of Asia down in Disney Springs. And that was the very first like table service meal that we had on our very first trip to Disney World because the girls are absolutely bananas for sushi. It's weird because Bean's like a particularly fussy eater. She's very, very, very picky. She's a very sort of like, chicken nuggets and plain cheese pizza kind of girl. But you put sushi in front of her and she just absolutely decimates it. So we went to Morimoto.
That's great though.
It is. It is. I don't think I'd quite realized how much it was going to cost me to take those two to Morimoto of Asia. Yeah, that was a real wake up call to just Disney World prices in general, but then also the fact that you go into like a signature restaurant, very fancy in there, but very, very nice.
Mm,
So, yeah, there are a few places you can get sushi at the moment, but it's really cool that they're kind of opening that up there. It's going to be so kind of heavily themed as well. I think it might encourage people to try it.
mhm,
Whereas, if people have certain preconceptions about like sushi or Japanese cuisine, they're not going to book themselves a table at somewhere like Shikisai or Takumite. They're just going to walk past and go somewhere else. Whereas the fact that it's all wrapped up in the Monsters Inc. theming, they might go in and just kind of go like, well, while we're here, we might as well grab an onigiri or a California roll or something. I have heard that they're going to be putting stuff
mm,
in there that's not sushi as well, which makes sense because you're going to kind of want to maximize the amount of people that are in there. And obviously, they're very keen to make sure that there's options available for a lot of different people. So you're probably going to get some typical sushi. I wouldn't be surprised if you get like cheeseburger sushi and pepperoni pizza sushi. Like you know what they're like. They like to kind of marry that theme park food with like kind of crazy ideas and stuff. So you're probably going to get that, and then I would imagine you'll be able to get chicken tenders and stuff as well. So, but yeah, it's really really
yeah.
cool that they're doing that. Harryhausen's, obviously, the restaurant is based on the restaurant from the original Monsters Inc. film where Mike takes Celia out for a date and then Sully shows up with Boo and everything goes crazy. Harryhausen, by the way, named for Ray Harryhausen, who was a stop motion animator in the 50s and
Mm,
60s, and he did all the stop motion creatures for films like Jason and the Argonauts and Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. And he had a very distinctive style. So if you ever see people sword fighting with skeletons in a film from the 60s, odds are he did those special effects. But he was kind of like the monster guy back in the 60s and the 50s, and that the naming of the restaurant was a homage to him. So it's really cool that that's now being brought into the parks as well, because that's proper film history. The other thing that they showed us with Harryhausen's was the sushi chef. Which have you seen any of the video of that?
yeah.
Looks
I've
great.
I've not seen the videos. I saw like a stock image, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, looks so cool. So you've basically got a giant octopus monster, and he's going to be behind the counter, and apparently you're going to be able to watch him preparing sushi with his many tentacles and things. So that's going to be a real draw as well. I love it when they put an animatronic inside a restaurant. I mean, I'm part of the Sunny Eclipse
Oh
fan
yeah.
club here, you know. So anytime that I can just watch a robot moving around, singing and dancing, whatever, while I'm enjoying my burger and chips, then that's a winner in my book. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. The whole land just looks like it's going to be incredible. Obviously, we've got the door coaster is going to be coming at some point as well. So that
Hmm.
looks really cool as well. They had a few details about that. Apparently, the start of that ride is going to launch you 40 feet into the air in like 3 seconds or something like that. So that sounds like it's pretty intense. And it's going to be the first suspended coaster as well. Disney World's never done one of those before. So that's going to be
Mm.
pretty cool that's available. Did you
Yeah,
have
I can't
anything
wait.
else that was happening in Monstropolis? I think we got it all, really, haven't we? I think there's
Yeah, I think the only thing is the shop is called the Scareporium. That's it.
the
That's all
Scareporium.
I got.
Okay,
Yeah,
is that going to be where the Christmas shop was? You remember the Christmas shop that was in that
I
area?
would imagine so. I would imagine
Yeah,
so because I can assume that it's all like already themed that way,
yeah,
or not
right,
themed that way. Sorry, but it's already got like the cash registers,
yeah,
shelving, and stuff like that. It's already
yeah,
got a lot of stuff there, so I can
yeah. It's a
imagine
retail
that will
space,
be it.
so yeah. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that as well. So that I believe was the main piece of news for Hollywood studios. They weren't really discussing much else there, were they? I think it was
No.
primarily the Monstropolis stuff, and then that just leaves us with everybody's favorite redheaded stepchild, Animal Kingdom.
Mm. Now I love Animal Kingdom, so I will hear no slander.
I'm only teasing.
Um, but uh, there's a few things. I'm gonna obviously I'm gonna start with another one, which is not my most in. I think my most interesting one is a different one, but the
Okay.
uh, Tropical Americas
Mm-hmm.
is getting some progress.
Yeah.
It's going to have I believe, a carousel.
Yes.
There, I forgot the name of it. It escapes me right now. I didn't, silly me, I didn't put it on my
It is
notes.
called
I bet it's something really simple.
El Carrusel de
Oh,
los Animales. Oh God, I've messed it up. But yeah, basically it's Spanish for
that
the
one.
carousel of animals. Animalitis, I
Yeah,
believe.
there we
Yeah.
go. And it's going to be probably like a family attraction, realistically, isn't it? And
Sure. Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing. That sounded like I was complaining.
It
It's
looks
got, I think,
stunning.
22 handcrafted animals
Yeah.
uh, from Disney and Pixar stories, and the idea is they're carved by a local wood carver in the land's story.
Yep.
Um, and it sounds lovely, honestly. I can't wait to. I'm very excited for Tropical Americas.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but they've got that, and then they've got Antonio's Antonio's Fest Festia de Encanto. I
We spend a
butchered
lot of
that
time in
really
Mexico.
bad.
You can probably tell. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, don't hate me. I'm ignorant and from the UK.
We're
Okay,
doing our best. All right. Yeah. No. So this is
that's literally, yeah.
so this is the Encanto, right? Where you go into Casita, and the whole thing is it's taking part on Antonio's gift day. I believe it's going to involve us going into his room with all of the excuse me, all of the animals and everything around, and everything else. So they revealed some of the ride vehicles, which look really, really pretty, and they had some miniatures showing the house essentially, which looks like, unsurprisingly, the house from the movie. I assume everything's going to move
Whoa,
and chitter chatter and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, looks like it's going to be pretty epic. I think that's going to be a really, really
yeah,
popular ride once it opens up. I heard,
for sure.
um, I heard a few people. I didn't see this, but I heard a few people mention that they were discussing the possibility of having actual kind of like live animals in some parts. So whether that's a thing that actually happens
Mm.
or not, I don't know. But they did show the capybara, the animatronic capybara was at D23, so you could see that, which was really, really cool. And I think there's like a donkey there as well, or a burro if you're fluent in España, Espanol.
Mm. Get the
Uh,
Duolingo out.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I need to because apparently I can't speak any Spanish whatsoever. So that all looks pretty epic, and you know, Encanto is a marvelous movie, so it's really cool that we're going to be able to kind of dive into that and actually go
Brilliant,
into the
brilliant
house and
film.
everything else. I think the carousel just looks absolutely beautiful. They showed all of the different animals, all the different carvings and stuff. So they're pulling from a lot of different Disney films. I particularly liked Timon. I don't know if you saw that one. It looks like he's had a BBL because obviously they've got him so
Yeah.
you can still ride on him, but he's upright. But then like his butt is sticking out a good half meter behind him, so that there's a saddle so that you can ride on. But yeah, he looks like he's been to Nicki Minaj's plastic surgeon and asked for
Uh,
a top up in the cheeks. Um,
well,
but yeah,
yeah.
you've got like you've got animals from all over Disney history in there, which looks really really cool. And I love the way that they've been, designed and carved and everything else. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a spin on the carousel at some point. What else did they announce from Tropical Americas? There was something else, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
Oh yes, it was. They have an official name for the Indiana Jones ride, which is Indiana
Oh
Jones
yeah.
and the Myth of the Jade Serpent. So this is
Mm.
apparently set in the 50s. So it's set after the original films, but before Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which we don't talk about. And this is going to be the first ever time that they're actually using Harrison Ford as the model for Indiana Jones. So apparently, every other Indiana Jones ride that's had like an Indiana Jones dangling from the ceiling or, urging you to get out of the way, the face has always been like partially obscured because I think they've just not had the likeness rights to use it, and this time they do. So they've digitally mapped his face, de-aged it, obviously, so it's kind of in the timeline of between Last Crusade and Crystal Skull. So he's going to be like sort of mid 40s, I guess. But yeah, he's actually going to be there. It's going to be his actual voice doing it and everything else. So that's
Mm.
kind of cool that we're going to get proper indie on our Indiana Jones ride. They've got a ginormous animatronic snake, which they were showing off bits of during D23. And yeah, I mean, like everyone else, I was sad to see Dinosaur go, but I absolutely love me an Indiana Jones film. So I'm really looking forward to
Oh yeah.
riding this when it's up and running. I've ridden the coaster in Disneyland Paris. Obviously, I've not been to Disneyland California, so I've not been able to do that one. But it's a similar ride system to Dinosaur, so yeah. I've got one of my favorite memories of Disneyland Paris is the Indiana Jones ride because it was, I think it was the first time we
It's
went, and it
actually
was the only,
really good.
yeah, yeah, it's great. It was the only time we'd had to queue for more than an hour, I would say. So Victoria was getting a little bit
Really?
impatient. Yeah, it was a really long queue for it. This was 2015. And as you
That's
get to the front of the
crazy.
queue, yeah, as you get to the front of the queue, though, you stand in front of the inversion, where it goes loop the loop. And she didn't know that it went loop the loop. And obviously, we get to that point in
Yeah.
the queue where she sees that it goes loop the loop. But at this point, we've also been waiting for probably about 75 minutes. And she's not willing to throw away all of that time. So we go on it and she does the loop the loop. My brave little soldier.
Hey,
But yes,
well done.
yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm really looking forward to all of the tropical Americas. I think it's really going to drive a lot of attention towards Animal Kingdom. Obviously, it's got this reputation as a half day park. I think at the moment, it's hard to argue that reputation just because so much of it is closed off and under construction. There are still things to do in Animal Kingdom. It's a lovely, lovely place to go. And again, like if you're the sort of person who can just go and spend time in a theme park, not necessarily just going ride, 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 there's so much there to see. But I can understand why, at the moment in particular, there are people who are just kind of going, yeah, I'm going to go to Pandora. I'm going to go see the safari. I'm going to ride Everest, and then I'm going to go somewhere else for the afternoon or whatever else. But I think once Tropical Americas is open and everything in that section is available for people to enjoy, you're absolutely going to need to, schedule a full day and open to close for Animal Kingdom. I'm kind of hoping it means that they end up opening the park a little later. It'd be really nice if once Tropical
Mm.
Americas is open, they kind of push that opening time back a couple of hours so people can start enjoying the bioluminescence of Pandora again. Tropical Americas at night could potentially be very beautiful, with all the
That'd be
lighting and
so
stuff that,
cool because
yeah, yeah, I think, the fact that Indiana Jones has got this kind of like Mayan temple kind of aesthetic going on with it. You know, you could light that in a really interesting way. So yeah, it'd be really, really cool if people could also get a few extra hours in the park with it staying open a little bit later as well. But they've not said anything. That's just me kind of going, this would be a good idea, because it would.
Mm.
Yeah. So was there anything else happening in Animal Kingdom apart from Tropical Americas? They were the main
So,
announcements. Yes.
the main announcements.
Yeah, everything
Excuse
else
me.
is chump change, surely.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
The Yeti
Oh
is
yeah.
returning.
They're fixing the Yeti.
Chump change. Oh, oh,
Hey, look, it's
oh
lovely that they felt the need to make a
Christ.
literal song and dance about the fact that they're fixing a broken animatronic.
Listen, I am so excited. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Everest. Everyone knows how great Everest is.
Hmm.
For me, Everest holds a little bit of a special place, and I think maybe Victoria can kind of share this based on what you've just said on Indiana Jones. I don't know if she does, but the reason why Everest holds a special place in my heart is literally me and Ellie, my partner. For those who don't know, my better half. Uh, we were first trip in Disney World. Now I was not a coaster person. I did not like rides. Had a very bad experience with the ride when I was younger.
Yeah.
That's why it looked at me funny basically, and from then on I was done.
Yeah.
But walking through Animal Kingdom, and Eddie was talking about Everest, and I remember seeing it and hearing people scream, and I literally looked at her and went, "I cannot do that ride. I can't do it."
Yeah.
And she was so sad, like she was so heartbroken that I could not do that ride. I was like, honestly, I cannot do it, and I felt really bad as well. She'd got us fast passes for it, so yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
but I on our last day in our first ever trip to Disney, found a. And this is it sounds really bad. It's not actually a complaint because the staff handled it great. Now I've told this story briefly before, but I found a cockroach in our room,
Mm,
and I'd heard these things can survive nuclear bombs. So I put a
apparently
cup
so.
over it, and I literally just went and said, "Hey, don't know what to do," and I literally just went, "This thing's meant to be able to survive being blown up. I don't really know what to do with it." And he was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." Gave us a load of fast passes. We went to Animal Kingdom, and then while we were there, I was like, "Right, Ellie, let's go on Everest. I am willing to terrify myself for you." So we went on Everest, and I loved it. And I looked at her and went, "We have 6 more fast passes. I want to ride this ride 3 more times." So we did. We just did it 3 more
Yeah.
times.
Wow.
And since then, I've loved Everest. It's great.
Okay.
It's a must do. I have to do Everest every time I go. Like I
It
can't
is.
not do Everest.
It's a great ride.
Um, it is lovely. I wish there was more Everest merch. But anyway, went Everest. It was great. So I'm very excited for the Yeti.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it's really cool that I gather that the reason they hadn't fixed it before was the fact that it wasn't just that the animatronic was broken, as in like, you know, one of the joints had snapped or some of the hydraulic fluid wasn't, but it was to do with the fact that it was a structural concern. So, like, if they'd continued to run it,
Yeah,
obviously with that lunging motion, it would have affected the structural integrity of that part of the ride and therefore made it quite
yeah,
dangerous and unsafe. So part of fixing it means like a substantial amount of that area of the ride is going to have to come out completely and be replaced. So it wasn't a small fix
hmm
like it would be with the standard animatronic, which is why they haven't done it. They just put it in disco mode with that flashing light and kind of left it for a couple of decades. So yeah, it's really, really cool that they're announcing the fact that they're actually fixing it. And it's so funny that like the response has just been like right down the middle, which is like I think your reaction to it and my reaction to it. So like half the people are like, "Oh my goodness, yes, thank goodness! I cannot believe they're doing this. This is going to be amazing." And everyone else is going, "Yeah, like yeah, you should fix it." You know, so everyone's happy
yeah,
it's being done, but yeah, I think people tend to sort of fall into two camps as to whether they're like, "Yeah, this is brilliant," or whether they're just like, "Yeah, okay, well, yeah, it's an animatronic, get it sorted, get it up and running." But it's going to be really nice to see the full experience, you know, the ride as it was intended to be ridden,
Mm-hmm.
because it only ran for a few months apparently with the Yeti working back in 2006
Yeah.
before it before they had to turn it off. So very few people, realistically speaking, have actually ever seen it in motion, and it's going to add a real extra thrill to that ride, I think. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. That's really, really cool. Very, very exciting. That
Mm.
was pretty much it for the Walt Disney World announcements from the Horizon show at D23. Obviously, there was a lot of announcements for Disneyland California. There was a lot of announcements for like Shanghai and Hong Kong. Disneyland Paris got left outside. They forgot to invite them. They weren't allowed in past security. Um, they announced that Hyperspace Mountain is returning to the original Space Mountain. So they're getting rid of the Star Wars
Yep.
element and they're turning it back to the kind of Jules Verne element that they had when they originally made it. Like, you know, make what you will of that. I think people are speculating that Disney Adventure World is going to get its own Star Wars area at some point in the future. And so they're kind of looking at pulling some of the other elements that exist in the park out so that it's not necessarily conflicting with that when it ends up happening. But again, that's all speculation at the moment, I
So
think.
yeah, on that real quick, just because they've since removed this, but where you know in Disneyland Paris, sorry, just to touch
Mm.
on it a minute, where the gates used to be for where Frozen is now. There were like
Yeah.
two gates on a big wall, and there was a big bit of concept art on that wall of what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
There was, for a very brief moment, a small Galaxy's Edge, like Black
Ooh.
Spire Outpost, on that art, and I've got a photo of it
Of
on the
course you
phone.
have.
Yeah, because I saw it and I was like, "Oh my god, Star Wars!" I was like, "You're going to tell me I'm going
Yeah.
to be able to make a lightsaber in Paris, which is going to be cheaper than going to Florida?" I'm so sold. And then I think, and I don't want to say this because I love Galaxy's Edge, but I think the lack of success that they thought it was going to be. I mean, it's obviously been all right, but like it's
Mm.
not been as good as what they thought it would be. After that, they very quickly changed that concept art on that wall because the next year I went and it wasn't there
Wasn't
anymore,
there.
and I was like,
Yeah.
that Star Wars is not in this artwork anymore. So, I mean, they might make one, they might not. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, it's all speculation. I think, I mean, to your point, I think part of what didn't work for some people with Galaxy's Edge was the way they scaled back from what they'd
Mm,
originally. I don't want to use the word promised, but you know, in terms of like what they presented as what's going to happen in terms of there's going to be roaming droids, there's going to be roaming aliens, there's going to be.
well,
I
yeah.
think there was originally meant to be 3 attractions in that area of the park and not 2. It was all announced that it was going to be a much grander spectacle. And I'm like you, I absolutely love Galaxy's Edge
Hmm.
as it is. If nothing ever gets added to that, I will still love that place and it will be my favorite place to visit in all of Disney World. There is room for it to expand
Hmm.
and grow. Whether they will, I don't know. But yes, I think the scale of what it eventually was versus what it was originally told to be left some people feeling a little cheated, or you know, just a little cold about the whole thing. And I think if Paris was potentially planning a even smaller version of that, an even more scaled back version of that,
Yeah.
is that going to have the same sort of response? So I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt, I don't know. But yeah, so either way, the Hyperspace Mountain is going back to the way it was before. The only other real information they shared for Paris was another look at the Lion King log ride, like log flume ride that they're doing
Mm,
in Adventure World. We've known about that for quite a while. They just showed a little bit more concept art and a few kind of little models and things. So that is happening and coming along and will be open at some point in the future. I think it's going to be a very Splash Mountain type ride, just with Lion King trappings. It's telling the story of the film as you move through it. And yeah, it's another reason to go back to Paris, because there's stuff that wasn't there last time I was there. So, and that's why they do it, to get you to
hmm.
come back. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that
Oh,
whenever it ends up happening. And it would be nice to go and visit the Jules Verne Hyperspace Mountain. Sad to
Yeah.
lose the Star Wars element, but kind of cool that we're going to get to see, a return to what it was before I went there for the first time, at least. So I think
Hmm.
that wraps up our D23 news. I hope that's been helpful to people who like Disney enough to listen to this podcast, but for some reason haven't heard all the D23 news from elsewhere before. If you have and you've just
Yeah.
listened to us ramble for an hour and a half, I really appreciate that. I'm going to finish today with a little announcement, which is we are not going to Florida next year. I've mentioned this before. What we are going to be doing instead in August is going on our first ever Disney cruise. We booked this week
Hey.
that we're going to go and we're going to do the Disney Wish, which comes to the UK next summer. We're going to go on a cruise around Spain on the Disney Wish for 4 nights, I think it is. So yeah, really,
That'd be
really excited
amazing.
for that. Yeah, really looking forward to that. I was winding Victoria up a little bit today. So there is a Star Wars lounge, the Hyperspace Lounge on the ship. And you
Gotta be
can
done.
buy, yeah, well, I said not only has it got to be done, but they also do a $400 drink in the Hyperspace Lounge as well called the Coaxium Flight, where you get a
What?
big metal box and then in it are 3 little canisters of coaxium, which is just very expensive booze. And then you get to keep the box at the end. It's like $400. I'm not actually going to be doing that, but I did have a fun few minutes convincing Victoria that that was something that I was going to be spending our money on. But the whole ship looks absolutely amazing. I've seen a few vlogs and things of other people riding it when it was doing the kind of Caribbean circuit. It's got a
Mm.
Marvel themed restaurant. It's got a Arendelle themed restaurant. It's got an old Hollywood restaurant, a bit of a Brown Derby looking restaurant called 1923, which is obviously the year the Walt Disney Company was
Mhm.
founded. Um, Loads of kids zones. It's got the first ever Disney attraction at sea called the Aqua Mouse, which is sort of part roller coaster, part water slide, but there's like a storyline involving Mickey Mouse. You go over the side of the ship in this water slide kind of thing. They do fireworks at sea. Um, yeah, so we're like a year away from this, but we kind of knew we weren't doing Florida next year, and we wanted to avoid the Disney blues when we finished our holiday this year. And as everyone knows, the best way to avoid getting the Disney blues is to book another Disney trip. So we toyed with
Indeed.
the idea of doing
Indeed.
Paris, but yeah, we really like the idea of doing the cruise. And the nice thing about the cruise is all your food is included. You're not having to pay for any
Hmm.
flights. You're not having to pay for the Eurostar. It's just you pay for your cruise fee, and then that's it. There are other upcharges and things that you can do if you want to, but yeah. So I've got my cruise line app downloaded already. Checking out as much as I can on that, and yeah, you'll hear me waffling on about that the closer we get to it. But yeah, that's my big kind of like, oh, I'm very excited for something, um, which is an odd feeling considering I've got a Disney World trip coming up in like 3 weeks' time as well, and I'm excited for
Yeah.
something that's happening in a year, but new, different, exciting. So,
That is
I
exciting. I'm excited for you,
yeah,
honestly.
thanks, man. Is that something you think you guys would ever do? Do you think you'd go cruising at some point?
I would like to go on one day, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think they do quite a lot of
Hmm.
interesting ones from the UK. You can go to you can do like a Norwegian fjords
Like
cruise.
Norway, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can do that. There's one that just goes around the UK and you can just stay on the boat the whole time. There's plenty to do on there. There's one that goes
Mm.
all the way around the Mediterranean, and then there's this Spanish one that we're doing. So there's a couple of days where they dock at different ports in Spain, and you can disembark and go and spend time in Spanish towns. And at the moment, we're like, nah, nah, nah. We're just staying on the boat. that that may be subject to change. So yeah, there we go. Right, I think that will do it for this episode. And next time we
Mm.
speak to you, we will either be coming at you from Disney World. The call is coming from inside the house, or it will be our trip roundups after we both get back, and we'll be exhausted and sunburnt, but very, very content.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for listening. Always really, really appreciated. If you want to reach out and get in touch, you can visit the Instagram or drop us a comment on Spotify, or if you're watching on YouTube, drop us a comment down below. We read it. We'll get back to you. If you like what you're listening to, if you think that we have some value to give, and you know other people that like Disney, please let them know. Like either like actually sharing it by sending a link or just a bit of word of mouth helps immeasurably. There's a lot of Disney podcasts out there. It means a lot that you listen to ours, and we're always looking to get more people listening to our waffle. So that really, really helps. Thank you very much. Yeah, cool. So good chatting to you, bud. And I hope you have the most marvelous, magical time while you're away. You absolutely will, because it's Disney World. You can't not. And
Well, yeah, of course, right.
absolutely. And we'll check
You
in.
too, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, God. I've been ready for weeks.
I
I've been
can't
ready for
wait.
months. Who am I kidding? So, yeah, there we go. All right. Let's leave it there then. Thank you very much. Bye bye.